Hi guys, it's Ian from Educate to Accumulate. It is Sunday the 27th of Feb 2022. It's about 12:30 in the UK. Over the weekend I do a lot of work highlighting support and resistance levels, looking for my bias from the single currency baskets and looking for potential setups. So I want to talk about open trades. I want to talk about potential setups for maybe the Sunday night open, if not probably Monday during the day. So let's get to the chart. So the first chart is going to be Euro Sterling, long in this pair, looking on this daily chart for quite an aggressive move to the upside. We've got a confluence area 89.87, which in turn will make a bat formation. What pattern got us into this trade? Or this pattern did. This is called a bat formation. So we've got a 261.8% extension of this wave, and that lines up with an 88.6% pullback of this impulsive move. And you can see that we move lower quite nicely in Elliott wave formation to this confluence area. Now we've pushed to the upside. So stop to entry, and hopefully going to get a bleeder out of that one. Aussie yen. Two different time frames here. Really, we've got this time frame that's highlighting this latest pattern, or I'm hoping is highlighting this latest pattern. So basically selling this CD leg with a stop above here, above 83.90, targeting 80.95. And again, you know, these are solid risk reward setups with an emphasis on R. We've got about 6.3 with regards to risk reward there, and also depending on the spread. So if we say 6 to 1 risk reward for a short trade down towards that sort of area there. And again, we've got a completed pattern that's offering us that leg to the downside. So this is a bat formation. So the bat formation triggers the short, and going to the 4-hour chart, we've got the butterfly formation that highlights the target. So quite a nice setup there. I wouldn't say it's prime, but it's sort of 80% if you like. So you can see here, this is all my different sort of currency pairs that I'm looking at. I've got all the crosses in there. The ones with a blue next to it, long trades and live. Obviously the ones with red are short trades and live, and the ones with amber are awaiting signals. So let's get to the next one, which is CAD yen. So I believe that yen's in a bullish cycle. I believe that the move that we've seen lately is a counter trend trade, if you like. This is the big picture as far as CAD yen is concerned. That's not the big picture. This is the big picture as far as CAD yen is concerned. And again, we've got a completed pattern here. So really, any moves to the upside should be limited. Possible wedge formation, but the bias over the medium term remains to the downside. Now, if we go to this 8-hour chart, we can see here that we have paused at this 61.8% pullback level of this rally. So this move higher here should be a corrective, but let's just show this. If I took that as the first wave, then it means that we're already in this second wave to the downside. And in fact, that was the pullback to 88.6, and we're now going to head down to 88, the figure. So this time frame basically highlights two charts, or two formations I should say, both offering a downward bias but with different legs. So in other words, this could be the BC leg going higher here to then reverse and go down to 78.6, or we're already in the BC leg and we're heading to 88, the figure. Both of them being negative, but not sure which one's going to play out. What I am sure of is this chart here. So this is the 1-hour chart. We've had a small reversal in the BC leg. Remember, the BC legs can be 38.2% or 88.6. If you are going to try and catch a BC leg, then you should really catch the 88.6, because you don't want to catch it here because your stop's got to be under here. So I hope that makes sense. So 91.12, but this is an amber trade idea. It's not I haven't put a resting order on this one because I haven't got the Canadian side yet, and we'll have to wait and see whether or not we get that early on Monday. EURCAD is the next one, and again, looking at sort of big cycles here, but this shorter cycle, the 1 hour, potentially building the trade, if you like. So 142.63.61 is support area. We could see some upside pressure before the sell-off, and that makes me wonder whether or not that CAD yen is going to hit too early. But we'll wait and see. I can't. That's one thing I can't predict, is when the formations are going to complete. So down here, 142.61. What's the big picture? Well, it could be this sort of chart here, and this is the EUROCAD daily chart. We've got a zone of resistance up to the upside, but dips keep on being bought into. And notice that we've got this move lower, potentially to a right shoulder. So if this formation plays out, and we always want to know where our potential target levels are, then we could get quite a decent move to the upside. And remember, it's not confirmed until a break of the neckline, but if we get a decent move to the upside, and this is when we're sort of talking about risk reward, okay, then sort of 151.58 is a target level for a reverse head and shoulders pattern. Where would the stop be? Well, you're going to want the stop around about this sort of level. So you're only going to be looking at, or we're only going to be looking at maybe sort of 25 tick stop loss for a potential return of, let's have a look at this. And these are the ones that you really want to try and catch. So let's move stop to 142.40. That gives us a 30 tick stop. So 142.40. It's nearly 30 R with regards to a long-term risk-reward trade. Do remember as well, if you're going to if you are going to get into these long-term trades, that they do have carrying costs. So you're not going to get 33 to 1, because it's going to take quite a long time, I believe, to get up to these levels, and you will pay overnight funding for that. So just something to keep in mind. It won't be that expensive, but it does knock your P&L a little bit. Euro New Zealand, and here I think we're already on the move. New Zealand has hit a pattern. I believe that we're sort of going to push higher in a BC formation. You might be wondering what this means, 13/6. Well, it's a demarc count on the 6-hour chart. It's been highlighted from the base of a trend. You'll see 13s everywhere, but I've just highlighted that one for myself to give a potential stop. So basically what I'll be looking at here is a sort of drive back lower, maybe at the open towards 166.63 area, and then looking at that demarc stop to try and get a potential stop on there, because it's not a completed pattern, so you have to have a defined stop, otherwise you can't really take the trade. New Zealand yen is the last one, and again multiple time frames sort of highlighting a negative bias on this. I mean, even going out to sort of a monthly chart, we could say, well, this is the completion of the BC leg, and we're now going to drive lower all the way down to silly levels, which is around about 16. But with what's going on in the world at the moment, let's not knock these potential setups, unfortunately. Here, more realistically, an 8-hour chart pausing at 78.6, so would highlight that the next drive lower is in a BC leg. If we look at this chart, and we've got formations everywhere, this could potentially be the completion of the BC leg again, and then driving lower. I've noticed I've put a risk reward calculator on there, so it's about 8 to 1 with a resistance level at 78.14. If I go to this chart here, and this is basically where I've got my trigger. I've got my trigger at 78.14. I've got a stop above there for a potential move down towards these levels. But even I will look at price action. I will look at where yen is at the time, obviously where New Zealand is, and if they're looking like they've got the potential to bleed, then it will be partial profit that will be taken at these levels, and then hopefully running some sort of decent medium-term trades. I believe we're going to get into some decent medium-term trends. Obviously, with regards to fundamentals, you know, risk on, risk off. I believe we're going to have to see risk off quite aggressively soon. I haven't really got a play on the dollar, but I have got a play on the yen, and hence me looking at these yen trades, the New Zealand yen, CAD yen, Aussie yen. Okay, guys, I hope that all makes sense. If you want to see more videos like this, please like the video on YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to join us on Telegram, it's live chat. Live trade ideas. I will leave the link in the YouTube narrative. Okay, guys, speak to you tomorrow. Have a good evening.